Alright, everybody, I think we are good to be live. Welcome back to the world of Pokemon Scarlet and or Violet, depending on which version you are playing. And today, we are going to be doing some Beat Me, Take My Pokemon, hopefully without any lag on the game side. Let me spin around to see. I made some changes. The big one being that we are no longer dual streaming YouTube and Twitch. And hopefully that will help with the bitrate for at least now. Yeah, the bitrate, okay, it looks pretty stable for now at least. Oh, the bitrate is higher. I only need to be, what? I need a lower bitrate? What? Um, I don't know what that means. It seems fine for now. I don't know what the downsides of having a high bitrate are. I thought having a low bitrate meant that I would lose frames because it would take longer to calc the frames. But maybe not. Yeah, we're pausing Twitch live streaming. Not that really too much came from Twitch live streaming, so that the YouTube live stream can be the best quality experience. And once I get a real nice computer, we might return into it. But just for now, at least, we're going to be doing YouTube live streaming only. So you're getting an exclusive experience if you're watching this on YouTube. But let's connect to the internet. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose the pedal outbreaks that I had. And now that I'm connecting to the internet, I also want to get my Wo-Chien. Because I have not gotten that yet. There it is. Also, Chen Pao is around right now, but I don't plan on doing one of those. Might do one just for fun. Or if there's nobody here who wants to battle. Can I change my bitrate live? Let me... That feels like a bad idea. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I don't think there's any downside to change the bitrate. Hello, Uni the Install. How you doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Let's do a mystery gift. Get via internet is what I'm assuming. I haven't seen a code anywhere at all. Very much like the shiny Wo-Chien gift. I took a scissor from you a while ago. I see, I see. Well, hopefully you can take some more Pokemon from me, because we have had a couple of new teams since the very beginning. I don't know where you took the scissor from me at, but do some new guys. I will also take the grass Terra Shards. I might be full on grass Terra Shards, though, so this might be pointless. Also, hello, Stormtrooper Business Suit. Good to see ya. Oh, that was a lot more than grass. I already have the mythical berry gift, so I don't need that. Alright, let's do a quick movement of Wo-Chien. We also have the crab. How you doing? Good to see ya. Where did that grass snail go? Did it go in my first box? Ah, it did. I don't know if those IVs are guaranteed, but I like the fact that it's... Do I like the fact that it's low in attack? I think I do. I think low in speed would have been the best one for Trigger him, but low in attack... Not that I'm getting foul clicked into this thing. Where did I put this? I just don't have space for this. I could put it in here, but I need to, well, I guess it is kind of a, nah, it's not the same. It's not a Mightiest Mark Pokemon. I'm gonna put it in here for now, but I need better places to put these things. When all the shiny ruins come out, I need a better place for them. Alright, let's finally get to Pokeportal. For a second, I forgot Torkoal was banned for me. It has been a hot sec. I took last week off. We were supposed to have Beat Me take my Pokemon last week, but I needed a breather for myself. I didn't stream at all last week. As much as I wanted to stream Danganronpa and Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic X Shadow Generations, and what's the other thing we're doing? Oh yeah, Pokemon Infinite Fusion. As much as I want to, too busy. Very relaxed. That's the code for today. Alright, let's wait for stream to catch up. Do you think I should show my certain team involving a certain one that shows no mercy? I love no mercy mons. They have the highest likelihood of winning. Pokemon that show mercy tend to lose. And that's bad. Alright, floor is now open. Alright, we've got Crab. We're gonna do official rules 1. And I've had Tropicos 2 for a very long time. I think I'm gonna swap back to Kieran 3. And we're gonna start... I guess I should hide screen, since Crab does change teams a little bit, I think? I don't know, it's been a while. Let's pick, not this team. We shuffle around a little bit more. Okay, now I pick this team. And now I return. Okay, this seems to be a Venoshock team with 2 Ghost types and Goodra. Oh, curious. I mean, I think I do this and this, definitely. And then... who's good? Problem is that there's that, and that beats that and that pretty comfortably. I think I need this, and I need... but if that is that, then I can't do that. I think I always need that. I think Crab usually sticks to one team like I do. I think you're probably right. I might be going crazy, though. You can never forget that fact. Alright, we have... that Pokemon and that Pokemon are here. Didi's going to activate the Psychic Seed. I am a little bit worried about if Toxapex has a thing, but I'm going to play this normal. Toxapex has Sludge Wave. If either of these Pokemon have Sludge Wave, things are going to be weird. As in bad. Very bad. Salazzle goes for the Poison Gas, which poisons Indeedee. Magic Bounce bounces it back. Doesn't affect Salazzle, but it does poison Toxapex, which is pretty funny. You gotta admit. Poison Jab comes out into Indeedee, landing a critical hit, meaning it's probably Merciless Toxapex if I had to guess. Toxapex is going to take poison damage. Indeedee is also going to take poison damage. I get Helping Hand, but I feel like Salazzle should be a Sash. And it doesn't threaten me with a crit. I think I just used the Terra here. Alright, Salazzle's going to leave in favor of who? Sinistcha. So it's just going to heal up Toxapex a bit. Does Reg F allow sub-legends? Yep. Harry gets off Expanding Force. Does enough to kill Sinistcha, which is pretty notable. Harry does lose some HP. Goes for the Poison Jab into Hatterene. Does that much damage. Does poison Hatterene, which is not what we want to see. Indeed, he gets off the Psyshock into the Toxapex, and that is able to knock it out. This match is basically Reg H. Yeah, look how far it is. The Reg H part is more fun, though. If I started this in Reg H, then it would have been Reg H all the way. But we started it in Reg F, so... The legendaries like Urshifu and, I guess, Glastrier, they've kind of been grandfathered in. Ooh, okay, it's or not Hisui Gui, it's just regular Gui. Gudrai. I mean, I'm fine with just getting off the Helping Hand Expanding Force here. Even if Salazzle is the Sash, or just protects, that's also fine. Gotten some good turns here. Goodra, of course, very Spadaf tanky. Goodra goes for Muddy Water. No Dragon Tail. Okay. Well, it's still KO's Hatterene, so not... Muddy Water would do the same thing. It's just now indeed he will die to the poison. As Goodra activates its Leftovers. Indeed, he goes down to the poison. I wonder if that poison mattered for the Dragon Tail. I don't think it does. Toxapex on the Poison Jab. I seem to be in a pickle. That's one way to describe this situation. Saw how much the Expanding Force did. Hyper Voice will always get the Salazzle. I don't think Salazzle can ever really kill Tyranitar, so I'm going to knock off into the Goodra. Alright, Goodra protects. Tyranitar knocks off into the slot. Then we're gonna get Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice KOs Salazzle because it is not Focus Sash. Everyone other than Tyranitar takes the Sand Ship. Goodra gets the lefties back. And now we have a pretty safe knockoff and Moonblast combo. And we'll claim the Goodra. Main issue is choosing teams to use. Well, if that's your issue, I did just finish making 128 Regulation H teams that were all distinctly different. So if you're looking for a team to make, you could maybe look at one of those for inspiration. And also give me watch time on those videos. That would be a win-win situation. I would lose Pokemon and gain more watch time. That's a win-win for me. Alright, Crablord backed into the corner. Gotta win the next two to get a Pokemon. No pressure. I'm not gonna bother hiding. I will grab... I feel like I picked this team a lot second. So I'm not gonna pick that team second. I'm gonna pick this team. I only had dragon moves, so I wasn't winning. Ah, I see, I see. I mean, I guess that's good to know for right now. I could wall with Goodra with Grimmsnarl. What do I bring? What? Assuming the Drifblim is unburdened, could it be Flare Boost? Flare Boost? Flare Boost. Could it be Flare Boost? I wouldn't doubt it being Side Will-O-Wisp into Drifblim Flare Boost. I kind of need this Pokemon, and this Pokemon, and then this Pokemon, and... This last one is hard. I have all these Pokemon for countering poison, but not for countering corrosion poison. I think I'll do that. For real though, you got any balance team worth their weight for Reg H? I mean, there is the number 3 was a Trick Room team. There was the Fire, Water, Grass core team. I think that was number 13 or so. I don't have my notepad open. Okay, it is the balloon. We unfortunately cannot fake out the balloon, but we can try to kill it. Like, kind of quickly. I really hope it's not minimized balloon. That would really sucks. Alright, well now we could fake out the balloon. And it is, in fact, the Side Will-O-Wisp to activate the Flare Boost. Raichu gets Thunder into the balloon. It does about half. Balloon goes for Shadow Ball into Raichu, and Raichu dies. Helper gets the Weather Ball off into Sableye, and that brings Sableye down to a pretty interesting amount of health where it gets to eat a Citrus Berry. The balloon takes burn damage. So I could read something like Balloon protects, and then they Will-O-Wisp into Scizor here. I feel like that's pretty likely. They also would have to double Pelipper. We're gonna do that. Okay, they quashed Scizor, which would not have changed Scizor's priority bracket, so Scizor would have gotten off the free bullet punch there. Drifblim also did not protect. Balloon was hurt by burn. Okay, now Salazzle is on the field. And I feel pretty fine
A Sinister swap in doesn't really help you here. Gudra will still take a lot from the Bullet Punch. But I also don't need the Terra for anything else. So I'm going to do this. Okay, Balloon leaves to bring in the Toxapex. Scizor gets off Bullet Punch. Doesn't do very much in the Toxapex. Scizor loses some HP to Life Orb. Salazzle goes for the Poison Gas. Poison Gas manages to land on both Pokemon. And it doesn't matter that Scizor terrestrialized into a dragon. Salazzle's assumedly corrosion ability. It could be. What's the other one? Not Inner Focus. Own Temp? It's an ability that ignores Intimidate that I can't remember right now, but it's not Inner Focus. Is it Own Tempo? Salazzle got one of them. It's probably not. It's probably Corrosion on a team with a merciless Toxapex. There we go. Scizor gets the Bullet Punch off onto the balloon, and it will take super effective damage and go down. Stream is dark? Uh-oh. Why did I lose? What the heck? Why did I lose? Well, this is weird. We'll finish this battle up and I'll figure out what happened. I don't know why. Well, I killed the balloon, and I'm going to Electroshot the Toxapex, and that probably ends the game. Why did... the capture go? It's not that OBS closed, it's just that the capture for... Okay, let me try... That's not correct. There we go. That refreshed it. That was strange. I've never had that one happen before. Unfortunately, Crablord, that was your second loss, so you can't get a Pokemon in this attempt, but you are more than welcome to finish out your third battle in your attempt if you would like to do so. And for this one, we're gonna pick this one. I was hesitant to pick it last time, and I'm gonna pick it this time. I must have, like, nudged the cord a little bit out of the computer. And then it disconnected and reconnected. Okay, slightly different team. This seems to... Is Klefki Gravity? I feel like Klefki is Gravity. Because there's like 2 Zap Cannon Pokemon on here and a Ground type. Which reads to me as Gravity. Actually, does Galvantula have Zap Cannon? It's Compound Eyes, not Zap. It definitely doesn't have Zap Cannon. I would know that. I don't know why I said that. I'm not really quite sure what to do here. So many ways that this could go. None of them great. I mean, mostly everything. I guess only 2 things are weak to ground, and then essentially there's a hard check to that, but not this. Not only if it uses something that's not that. Ay caramba. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do this, and this, and then this, and then... this. That's all I can really think to do. Is indeed time. Oh no, is he taking off the Rock Lee weights? Is he gonna be fast now? Alright, we have a Gastrodon and a Klefki. And we have a Dondozo and a Gastrodon. Well, I want that Pokemon to go. Is this Fairy Lock Yawn? Is that what I'm about to see here? Legitimate question. Fairy Lock Yawn? That only works in the Dondozo. Oh, it's Sand Forest. That makes a bit more sense. Throws Ancient Power into Tatsugiri. Luckily it gets the Life Orb. So they're trying to get off the Omni Boost on Ancient Power. Ursula gets burned. That heals up the slug a little bit. I feel like that Pokemon is very likely to go for something that would hurt me. So I'm going to do this. Ursaluna is going to protect here. Machagacha comes out. Earth Power comes out. Buffet by Sandstorm. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. Gastrodon needs to leave or Terrastallize here. But I don't think I'll do much damage. This needs to Sucker Punch, or otherwise I get Dondozo in with a pretty good amount of health. Or it needs to Machagacha. So I'm going to Sucker Punch to cover for the fact that I don't want Sinister to go for a move. And hope Gastrodon does something. Okay, it did Terrastallize the Steel. Sinistcha goes for the Rage Powder, so unfortunately we do not get to Sucker Punch into it. Did they throw Steel into Dondozo, or did they throw Steel into Fruit Blind? They threw it in at Fruit Blind. Okay, this will hurt. That loses some HP. Everybody's taking Sand Chip. So now we're kind of in the same scenario where that can either Matcha Gacha or it can't, depending on what it wants to do. There's a lot of ways this turn can play out. I can Sucker and then try and take down the Teacup, or I can Spore into this, which gives me more time to set up a Terra Dragon. Yeah, I think I do that. It's just going to Rage Powder. But that doesn't affect our play. Nozo gets off the Order Up, doing some decent Dragon type damage into Sinistcha. Groupon gets the Spore off into Gastrodon. Gastrodon is now asleep. That takes Sand Chip. Dondozo takes Sand Chip. Groupon takes Sand Chip. Well, we saw how much one Order Up did. I think I'm fine swapping in Tatsugiri and going for the Order Up. Let's form the full mode. There's a chance that Sinistcha protects and then Gastrodon goes for the Yawn. But it's already revealed Ancient Power and Terra Blast. It's kind of Earth Power and maybe Protect for itself. So the odds of this turn going bad are pretty low. At least I would say. I get the Terra Dragon Order Up, but now we have a +2 attack boost, and that's going to KO Sinistcha, the critical hit being a little unnecessary there. And that is still fast asleep. Brilliant. What is their last Pokemon as Sandstorm subsides? It is that Pokemon. Okay. The Stomping Tantrum should kill it. I'm a little bit more concerned about the Gastrodon though, and that's less likely to protect here. I'm going to attack into that. Now we KO that. And now what does Magnus do with its turn? It goes for the Zap Cannon. Unfortunately, it does not get the 50-50 coin flip that it may have wanted, but it does activate the Blunder policy, which will boost its speed. Is it faster than Dondozo now? Who's to say? Me. It's not faster than Dondozo now. It is sturdy. Flash Cannon does that much to Dondozo. And Dondozo can wrap up the game with Stomping Tantrum. To be honest, Gastrodon ain't doing much offensively, even invested though. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough roll for Gastrodon in that one. Even if you did get the Omni Boost off of the Ancient Power, Dondozo can just be unaware to it, so... Little tricky, a little tricky. GG's, GG's. The floor will now be open for another challenger once the live stream catches up in like 20 seconds from now, my time. Your time, you're seeing this live, so you'll know. When you see it, you'll know. Alright, here we've got Uni. Let me check my records here. Uni has one Pokemon, okay. And we knew that was the Scizor from before. I'm not gonna bother hiding screen, I don't think. I'm just going to grab this team and we're gonna turn on the gas. Okay, this looks to be a pretty offensive Sun team. How do I deal with the pretty offensive Sun team? Not like the greatest. I think I need this. I need this. And I need this. I don't think my odds are great. But we'll see. By the way, Crab, I'm gonna use gun and some other tricks on my sleeve. Gun sounds like an acronym, but I think he's just gonna bring a gun. If gun was like Gastrodon, Ursaluna, and... Why can't I think of a Pokemon that starts with an N? Sneasler? Just a Sneasler who doesn't use the first S? That'd track. Okay, so here's what I can do. I can make a very preemptive play to fake out into that Pokemon and then attack into that Pokemon. Or I can Wood Hammer to try and reduce that Pokemon's health to nothing. I think I make the preemptive play. I terrestrialized, which means they didn't terrestrialize, so making the preemptive play did not work out, which, let's be abundantly clear, did not work out. That goes for Tailwind. KO with Dire Claw. I'm about to get reverse KO'd by Eruption. Yeah, wish I went for the Wood Hammer. Oh, that was a crit though. I would have I would have thought a crit would do more than half. Well, I took a risk and the risk did not pay off. We're gonna bring in this Pokemon now. Special defense is weakened on the field. I mean, that should not Eruption. I'm not sure if... a good idea to just throw out the Pokemon I kind of need to win the game, though. Alright, that terrestrializes into fire, which means it's probably going to attack, so I could have suckered into it. But not because I didn't do that. Life is going to be bad. Because now the eruption is single target and the fish is on the field, so it's going to do about the same as it did last time. P2 cannot bring this one back. You could say gun is an acronym, but I say it's pretty close to its purpose. That makes sense. We'll Terra Blast. It will catch over Ether, though. The crit is a little bit unnecessary there, but it does get the job done. GG's, GG's. Alright, let's bring... what? Let's bring this team. Okay, bit of a swap around here. I see Chenpao, I see Ogerpon, I see Landorus, and I see Chiyu. The annoying thing is that and that I can't do that into. That Pokemon is so good as long as I get rid of that and that. I don't know how reliably I can do that, though. I think I do that. Actually... I don't think that comes. Let's do that. Alright, this is curious. So this screams Terra Normal Extreme Speed, and then Shenpao does whatever it wants. The thing is, I have to pick what target is into what, though. Let's do that. You're gonna see Dragonite Terra Normal. And Extreme Speed does come out into Arcaldon. Nice. That goes for Psychic Fangs into Blastoise, which seems like a direct counter to Screen, but Blastoise gets off the Iron Defense. Which is pretty nice. So now Chien-Pao threatens Sacred Sword if it has it. I think that Chien-Pao, they use the Terastallization. Chien-Pao gets attacked. That goes for another move of some kind. I think I want to click the Body Press the most here, and then just protect with Blastoise. Okay, Dragonite's gonna leave, which is good. To Rillaboom. That's up grassy terrain. Blastoise protects here. Sacred Sword comes out into our Caledon, doing that much damage. Caledon gets another defense boost. That brings that down to the Sash. Blastoise getting a lot of HP back from the terrain and its lefties. I think the most likely thing to do here is to try and KO our Caledon and Grass type move into there. Do I need our Caledon later in this fight? Probably. Let's see what happens. Takes out into Blastoise, which I am okay with. Sacred Swords into our Caledon, which I am okay with. Blastoise flinches and can't move. That gains Grassy Terrain Recovery. That wants to Psychic Fangs. We know that. My only chance to get up a Reflect, though, would be right now. Because I feel like Rillaboom just Wood Hammers in the Grimmsnarl and then is fine. I think I do this. Psychic Fangs in the Blastoise. It's gonna hurt. Wood Hammer into Grimmsnarl. Fortunately picks up the KO. Now it's raining. Effective bang for Blastoise again. There it goes for high burst power into the slot. There's body press. Hurricane takes out Rillaboom. Blastoise is gonna get some healing here. Who's last? Dragonite, of course. And Ogerpon. Ogerpon just has a really easy spiky shield here. And don't Pelipper for the sash. I think it just comes down to a 50-50 here, what happens. I think I'm going to make the super defensive play. Blastoise protects. And what does the opponent read? Extreme speeds into at least Pelipper. Ogerpon goes for the Swords Dance. Pelipper gets the Hurricane into that slot, which manages to KO Ogerpon. Blastoise getting back up in HP. Grass disappears from the battlefield, though. Multi-scale, we gotta break the multi-scale. Goes for the extreme speed into Blastoise, does that much damage. Blastoise gets the body press, which just flat out KOs because it is air focus. Look at how good that Blastoise really is. I mean, Blastoise clutched it. And that's why Blastoise is here. What a Blastoise. I do like this Blastoise a lot. It was something I came up with very early. I was like, Blastoise and Rain. Sounds good with me. Shores up my weaknesses on this team that I have. With a bunch of Pokemon that I thought would be good in Regulation G. But now I don't get to bring Blastoise. I get to bring one of the other 3 teams. And I think I'm going to bring this team because it hasn't gotten any play yet today. Okay, looks to be a big brain team that has Anti-Sun in the Fluttermane and Double Terrain in the Indeedee and the Rillaboom. How interesting. Okay. What is a reasonable thing for me to do here? I feel like you always lead Fluttermane with their team. My thing is, do you always lead Fluttermane? And how do I get out of Fluttermane? Fluttermane Rillaboom is so big and chunky to overcome. Let's do this, and I think this. Caladon Rillaboom, which is one of our better outcomes. I think you never throw a grass type move into the combo slot, so I'm going to put this into this. Goes from Fake Out into Fluttermane, but Fluttermane isn't affected by it. Goes from Draco Meteor into Fluttermane, Fluttermane isn't affected by it. Incineroar gets off of Willow. Rillaboom is going to leave, and in its place shall come Pelipper. Fluttermane's going to protect on this turn. Caladon's also going to protect on this turn, revealing that it is not an Assault Vest. And Incineroar does get the Willow into Pelipper, which is nice because it means that we get to break a Sash, and you can't Grassy Terrain recovery back into your Sash because you're a Flying type. Question is, what do I do now? Now, I kind of want to just double the Arcalodon. Pelipper can just like Weather Ball into Incineroar, though. I feel like it's gonna, like, Wide Guard. We're gonna turn the weather to sun using Charcoal. Fluttermane gets speed, but that doesn't matter. Unless it's Tailwind. Ooh, we're seeing a Terrestrialization on our Caladon into a Stellar type. Fluttermane gets off the Dazzling Gleam. It does very good chip to both. That's not a Crayon the Arcalodon? Alright. Is Arcalodon Power Herb? It is. Who is it attacking into? Fluttermane. Does this bring this down to the Sash? Not quite. But what does Pelipper do? Tailwinds. So now who's faster? Arcalodon with the Tailwind or Fluttermane? I think they have... I don't think they count Speed Me. They did just use their Electroshot Power Herb. I kind of want to attack in case Rillaboom comes in, so they try to set up Rain. I'm going to do this and this. Pelipper is in fact going to leave. And Rillaboom is going to enter. Echo Meteor, unfortunately, is going to get clicked into Torkoal, which probably means Torkoal is going down. Yeah, I could have just Dazzling Gleam there and been fine, but I was too afraid of the Pelipper having White Guard. that is now at low special attack, and that Pokemon is also now on the field, so I will bring in this Pokemon. Do I really need to Terra Steel here? I guess it would be nice. Peladon actually leaves. Or Pelipper. Decide to burn a Terra Steel here for Kamalo. And they pick out Kamalo. Unfortunately, we don't get our speed boost. That takes some burn damage. Grass disappears from the battlefield. Take out the Pelipper for some damage. Elder punches. Rillaboom is going to U-turn. Here we see Ogerpon to be the last Pokemon. Tomo gets off the Omni Boost. Elver takes Burn Chip. Opposing team's Tailwind peters out. So... what do I think happens here? I think... they have to attack into combo with Ogerpon. Like, I Clang Scales, that Pokemon dies. I think I click this and this. That kills that. Does lower my defense. Goes for Ivy Cudgel into combo. Does that much damage. Gets a knockoff here. Now, Rillaboom returns to the field. Looks at the grassy terrain. because of KO's Incineroar, actually. I'm pretty okay with that. Hey, maybe expect me to swap in Fluttermane there? Do I predict? I feel like with a defense drop, the Grass Glide does just enough to KO me. Stronger. I guess that. Flash Cannon's not a spread move. Is it Ogerpon Protect? No. No, that lives pretty comfortably. Rain stops now, but that shouldn't change anything. I wonder what universe I could have. Will-O-Wisp. It was that one turn where I protected Fluttermane and attacked with Torkoal. If I had Dazzling Gleam, that would have won the game. But I was trying to check for the Pelipper's Wide Guard. Well played indeed, Uni. Well played indeed. Now that is your second set win, which means that you get to pick out a pocket monster. And I also get to restrict you from using a Pokemon in the future. So in the future, I'm going to restrict you from using... Who's the most annoying? Let's go with, I think, Chi-Yu for now. Even though it'll get restricted in 2 more wins. When I restrict all legendaries and that stuff. But now you can pick a pocket monster from our box of mons. I was hoping it wasn't that one. Yeah, it was hard for me to pick, because, like, in 2 wins it'll get banned, but Chi-Yu seemed like it was the basis of a lot of strategies, so to try and encourage you to do something else, I decided to ban the Chi-Yu. So you can pick anything in this box. It all fits in one box, thankfully. These are the Sun Indeedis, and these are the Sand Indeedee. Singular. Only one left. Give me that Torkoal? Alright. Ready for a Voltorb.
was experimenting with Torkoal Trick Room. It's very strong. As you can see, this Torkoal is min speed, specifically for trying to fight other Torkoals in Trick Room. Oh, my train animation went back to being broken? It fixed itself, and now it's broken again. My trade animation, it's broken. Oh well. GG's, GG's. Now we will open up the lobby once again. Hope you're ready for some shenanigans. I love shenanigans. I'm a shenanigans guy. Alright, let's grab this, and let's just start with this team. Feels random enough. I'm not gonna put in the work. Trying to think about it randomly. I'm just gonna stay on the team. It's random enough. It'll satiate the masses and their randomness needs. Same items? Ooh, that's unfortunate. It like cuts to Stormtrooper's team and it's like 5 Mirror Herbs and 1 Grimmsnarl. This is an Electric Terrain Rain Dozo team. Heckin' yikes. Okay. I'm not crazy about this. Let's do this and this, I think. And then this Pokemon, and then this Pokemon. I deny the Mirror Herb allegations. I have like way too many Mirror Herb builds on me. Alright, well Indeedee sets up the Psychic Terrain, but not for long, because Pincurchin's going to set up the Electric Terrain, and the Electric Terrain really heckin' ruins Exeggutor's existence. Oh, but... Man, I just wanted to bring Exeggutor. Why can't I just use Exeggutor once in a while? Can't even do this. This is Electric Terrain. The thing is, Pincurchin can swap into Pelipper, and Arcaldon gets to click Electroshock because Pincurchin's so slow. Exeggutor gets off a little bit of expanding push chip. That's a little bit more than a little bit more. Draco Meteor comes out into Exeggutor. Exeggutor does live. As Pincurchin sets up the Toxic Spikes. Okay. I mean, our Caldon's special attack is down, so I feel like I should swap out. I might regret it in the future, but I'm not gonna mind the poison for now, at least. I definitely mind it for Fluttermane. Indeed, he's going to Psychic Surge. Is Pincurchin going for the Sucker Punch? Did not. Get to KO Pincurchin, and we get to regain terrain control for the rest of the game, and deal some nice chip to our Caledon. Our Caledon goes for the Electro Shot. Gets this attack boost. Reveals its Power Herb, and it kills Exeggutor using it. As indeed he takes the Toxic Chip. Now comes in Dondozo. And the poison is so unfortunate while Dondozo was on the field once it forms full Dozo. If they form full Dozo, though, it doesn't mean that they have... Or it means that they don't have Rain, actual. I kind of want a Helping Hand boost this, but I also don't want to just lose my Fluttermane. So I think I have to do this. Dondozo's going to protect. Doesn't lose much by just protecting. DD is going to follow me. Fluttermane gets the Dazzling Gleam. Failure Boost is going to get used up for this Dazzling Gleam, but it doesn't even KO our Caledon. What are we... our Caledon's also Stalwart, so it's going to... It doesn't kill Fluttermane, but it does too much. It does an unhealthy amount, really. Let's be honest with ourselves. Man, I was really hoping our Caledon would stay on the field for one more turn. Oh well, Tatsugiri comes in. And I think Fluttermane is now dead to poison because of Protects. Dondozo actually reads an order up into Indeedee, which means Indeedee is also dead. One of these Pokemon is already dead. I have accepted that fact. Two kinds of Arkeldons, the Stamina Tiki kind, and the correct set. Alright, I kind of take offense to that. Just like the tiniest little bit. I feel like that was a little targeted. Our Sunlight unfortunately fades, and Didi dies. Burkle is hurt by the poison. Dondozo doesn't lose anything going for the double protect here, which is fairly annoying, but also it's optimal play. Alright, we need the crit Terra Stellar Shadow Ball here. We didn't get it. So, if I had helping... I didn't helping hand that Dazzling Gleam, did I? I'm pretty sure I tried to redirect it. Because I thought our Caledon was going to leave. So if I had helping handed it, our Caledon would die. And then we would get a helping hand Shadow Ball into Dondozo. And then Dondozo would kill Fluttermane with probably Heavy Slam. And then... Or Liquidation would kill. And then Torkoal would come onto the field. Torkoal would not get to set Sun again, but Rocky Helmet damage maybe takes Dondozo? Hard to say. I think the lead is really what ruined me there. Exeggutor just did not get to do enough stuff for the time that was on the field for. If it was like, if I did Exeggutor Torkoal and then I swapped into the Psychic Terrain, then I would have had a much better lead. But that's all in the past. Now we're in the future. The future is now, thanks to science. We're gonna go with this team. We didn't helping hand, although it was stalwart, so kind of hard to read. Yeah. I mean, the stalwart wasn't in consideration because I thought Tatsugiri would swap in on that turn to take advantage of Fluttermane being open. But that's just not what happened. Hum. Because most excessive stamina. Well, I hit the Archaludon with an expanding force at that point. So that would have procced the stamina. We're going straight into the Dondozo. Not a move you see very often. I think I'm just gonna do this. Sneasler's defense gets boosted by Grassy Seed, but also activates our Unburden. Dondozo protects here. So it's not going to get hit by Dark Claw. So we get a chance to status it here with Sneasler, which is pretty nice. I guess we always get a chance to status it. Dondozo is going to reveal its Terra here, which is grass, which is even better for a Dark Claw. Unless this is Cover Cloak, it's going to get flinched. Dark Claw's going to do a decent amount. And we get the Sleep, which is kind of the one I didn't want, because it could just wake up. Like, Pair would have been nice to slow it down, so that Real Boom could hit it, but I don't know. Now, Dozo's fast asleep. Tried to go for the Protect. Dozo gets the Dire Claw. Real Boom gets the U-turn, and that's a crit. Very unfortunate first few turns for the opponent here. I'll play a little reckless this match and full send it. Well, me from the future says that full sending it was not a great idea. Don't really know what gave me that idea, but we'll find out. I dare say sleep was bad for me. It was pretty bad. Like, the poison would have been fine, because then I could chip it enough with the fake out and Dire Claw again. I think I'm just gonna double the Pelipper here. That goes for Draco Meteor. Maybe expected a swap into Torkoal. Hurricane comes down into Sneasler, which is going to cause it to get KO'd. Gambit gets the Kowtow Cleave off into Pelipper, and that's going to finish it off. Gambit restores HP. I can bring this back. And Tatsugiri's Choice Scarf is now Choice Scarfed itself into having low special attack, but it can't swap out either. Dozo used the Terastallization, so Basket Legion is out on that front. 2 people are dead, though. Can't forget about that part. But if it goes for Aqua Jet, which it may do, I don't think there's any downside to Terra Darking. I'm certainly not going to use my other Terras. Flash Respect's a contact move? I think it is. King Gambit gets off the Sucker Punch. Basket Legion might be banned, based on those numbers. Some expect a Sash, some expect a ban. Tatsugiri goes for the Draco again. If it got the crit, it would have killed me, but it did not get the crit. Earth Power chips Tatsugiri for another crit from my side. Ew. Gracie Terrain ends on the field. I have a pretty good feeling that we can just do this and this, and I think that's gonna wrap things up here. Alright, it all comes down to the third match. Strange Mirror Coat does trigger Sucker Punch? Because it's technically an attacking move. As long as it's not a status move that you're going for. A Mirror Coat is not a status move. Alright. I get to pick not this team and not this team. So I'm making a sandwich here, kind of. I think this team is the one I will bring. Okay, we have same guys and gal. I am missing a weather, but they are not. Concursion does kind of make the difference here, though. I think I do this, and this, and this. Okay, it's Basket Legion and Pelipper. Do I just rip it? Could be Phantom Force Basket Legion. I'm gonna do this. I think flip turn is very likely, but if it flip turns into Ursulina, Ursulina could also protect. I could have also swapped in Brute Bonnet here, but then Hurricane coverage for that. Helper Tailwinding would be the worst thing. Okay, Basket Legion is Phantom Force. Dondozo gets Order Up into Helper. Brings it down to not a Sash. Nah, it just does that much. So I can either Order Up into Basket Legion, try and get damage there, or I can KO Pelipper. I think I KO Pelipper so it doesn't Tailwind. Oh, okay, that's a crit. Well, I kind of deserve that. And Pelipper Tailwinded. That is probably the worst outcome. Not dead in the water, but very close to it. Assuming Basket Legion is banned here. Basket Legion is going to leave. Tatsugiri is going to enter onto the field, and now I do not have a Dondozo to defeat their Dondozo. Sucker Punch, unfortunately, does not find a target. Body Water can maybe get an accuracy drop. That would be kind of handy. Dondozo is going to terrestrialize into assumedly grass. Yeah, huh? Dondozo order ups into the correct slot. And if it had attacked Tatsugiri, it could have killed it, but it did not do that, so we're not going to get to kill it. Tailwind peters out. I think my only way out is an accuracy drop. Attack rise. Man. By the way, this Dondozo is Clamulet. Waterville coverage for burns and oh, it's not unaware? I mean, my only out was to go for the Muddy Water anyways. But if I can't accuracy drop, then there's nothing that I can do. Then my Dozo would have definitely beat this Dozo if this Dozo is Water Veil. Just had the one unfortunate crit turn. Yeah. Holidays Tatsugiri landed all of its muddy waters. That is another win for Stormtrooper in a business suit. Meaning that they get to pick out their 7th Pokemon. What are you looking to grab? What are my own rules? I don't think I get to ban a Pokemon until 8. Or ban a Pokemon every Pokemon until 8. Oh no, it's after 6 the trainer is locked out of using a Pokemon every time they have a winning attempt. So I can lock you out of a Pokemon, and I'm going to lock you out of Dondozo. Catching a Foddermon, fair enough, fair enough. Also, fair enough that Dozo strategy I did was a bit mean. I mean, it wasn't so much... Like, I think the poison was all fair and balanced. I should have played around it better by doing better with Exeggutor. It's just the fact that it was so difficult to beat without my own Dozo, and also Dozo does come up quite a bit. This is what we have left, minus the Voltorb. Voltorb's gotta go. Think I'll take your Dozo? Alright, we'll get rid of one of the Dozos. I swear my trade screen got fixed in an update, and then it broke itself again. Alright, well, let me go to the edge of this cliff, and I'll throw out the Pokemon that I just got. They'll survive the fall, don't worry. And Deerling. And now we have so much space for activities! I don't think I can condense down it at all, though, because this is like the sun corner, and this is like what's left of the rain corner, and this is like this is the trick room corner, and then this is what's left of the 4th team, and then the 5th team is like all spread out here. I guess I could do like this, and then like that. Yeah, there we go. But it feels weird that the Dondozo and the Tatsugiris aren't together anymore. do it like this. There we go. That feels much better. Okay. I think that was all the fights we had lined up. I will float around for another 10 minutes or so if somebody wants to fight. But I'm feeling pretty good about this live stream. Seems like not live streaming on Twitch fixed the bitrate issues that I was having, which is great. It's not a super loss, because I would get like 1 viewer a month over there on Twitch whenever I would dual stream. Don't worry, I'll take a Tatsugiri from you next. Okay, great. Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. I guess I'll open it just in case there's a non-chatter in the YouTube chat who would like to fight. I'll open the box for a bit. Watervale Dondozo is left unchecked in Reg I for later game when most stuff is taken out. What does the anti-burn help out with? Is it just like Incineroars that want a Will-O-Wisp it to slow it down? Who's the other big burn Pokemon? Because I feel like Unaware is more helpful generally, because then you get to be immune to things like the defense boost from Zamazenta. Or if you were oblivious, then you could ignore Intimidates and you wouldn't need the Clamulate. Alright, give it another go. Helps against instant Ho-Oh. I've ran into them. If I'm running on Draco Meteors into a slot, they don't do as much to it because it still has the special attack drop. I feel like, how often do you catch a Draco though? Like, I feel like they would always click Electro Drift on turn 1, and then once you turn Grass, they would just Volt Switch out. The Ho-Oh does make sense though. I haven't played Reg I very much, so I don't know how common the Ho-Oh matchup is, but that's at least a notable burn mon. And it prevents any unlucky burns from Flame Body mons. Yeah, Volcarona is around. I never really got Volcarona in Reg G. I always saw Volcarona like quiver dancing and then clicking Heat Wave, which I thought was something that you could do to beat Terapagos, but Volcarona had a really bad matchup into Terapagos. Volcarona is a massive Urshifu check. Yeah. Definitely helps for that. About to make a new team. I don't know which strategy to use next. Although Stalwart Keldon did punish your DD trying to redirect. It did that one time. It did, in fact. Rocky Helmet. Flame Body Volcarona usually takes Urshifu down to 50% and burns it if it takes a Surging Strikes. Yep.
I can definitely see it doing that pretty consistently. I always thought Pokemon was meant to, like, counter one of the restricteds, though. Other than Zamazenta. Which maybe is just enough. They're counting us mostly for Cali riders trying to lean hard at Trick Room. True. Makes sense to want to ignore the redirection for your big damage. Alright. I'm gonna look. What do we get from this event? We get... Oh, we get snow runs? Do I need those? I guess I need a shiny Glalie in the future. What do I have? I have both in Legends Arceus. Do I have any in this game? I have neither. I already have him Legends Arceus. I don't really want to catch a shiny Snorunt in this game. Just transfer him up when the time comes. My favorite restricted duo is... Oh, I got an ad. Probably Zace and Kyogre. Yeah, I like Swordfish too. I'm walking around just randomly right now. Okay, let me look at all of the outbreaks before I try and determine if there's anything that I want. Oh, Cubchoo is ice types. It's Genpao. Makes a lot of sense. There's like nothing going on here. I guess I'll go sit in this snow run patch by the road. So hyped for shiny Chiyu. Yeah, the fact that they're giving us all the shiny Ruinmons is very nice. I very much appreciate it. I wish you could have caught them just from the Terra Raid from beating the Terra Raid, but it's fine, whatever. I've gotten over it. I'm not mad about it anymore. That much. Maybe not use the Dragon Flying type into all of these ice types. My shiny Ruins rank is probably Chiyu, Wochien, Shenpao, and Tinglu. I think mine's probably that too. And like, maybe I would put, actually I think I would put Shenpao over Wochien. I like the muddy saber-toothed tiger a little bit more than the autumn Wochien. No, it's Illumise. Hey, you can never go wrong with making the fire type shinies blue, where the red previously was. That's my opinion. We got Embor. Can't think of any fire type shinies that do that. Kind of Rapidash. Rapidash like becomes so blue that it becomes purple. And purple fire is a thing. Not changing my mind, but your opinion is valid. Well, I'm glad that we can agree to disagree. Love black and blue so much. It's good. Just a good color combo. The black is like a nice charcoal color, and the blue is like a hotter flame. Is there like a fire type shiny that becomes white with its fire? I feel like that would be a really nice looking shiny. Oh, I guess Incineroar kind of is white where the fire is, but not really. Really, honestly, any vibrant cold color like light green, blue, and white. Like, this is a light green, blue, and white. Who's blue and white at all? I guess Snowrun is blue and white. Snowrun kind of gets downgraded a lot with its shinies. Like, Galele with red eyes, I feel like is up there for laziest shiny. And then the fact that Frostlass is really only the ribbon around its waist going pink. Like, Snowrun being blue has so much hope. It's a nice little palette swap, and then it just does not carry it on. Oh, hi. Well, now I have a shiny Galele. Do I want to catch this quick? It's gonna have red eyes. I might as well catch it with something that matches the Galele. Or People is pretty strong. Linton and Torracat is nice. They are nice. I'm not saying that Incineroar Shiny is bad. I'm just saying it's not quite what I thought of when I thought of White Fire. But it does fit the prerequisites that I set out. Salazzle becomes white and it's amazing. Oh, Salazzle is a nice one, yeah. I 1000% agree with that. Honestly, is there a bad, like, albino white shiny? Other than a Incineroar, according to Uni? Who else just goes white? I think... What's Excalibur? Is Excalibur... do you do? I think... you get a little bit more white. But more like it's like a lighter and then purple claws. Or pinkish claws. Alright, well now I need a female one of you. So, one of you could be a girl. That would help me out, notably. Instead, I say it's top 10 of my hated Pokemon because of how repetitive builds on it are. Yeah. I really hope they do something mechanically about Incineroar next generation. My 3 things that I wish that they would do is, number 1, Fake Out plus 2 priority. Makes it a lot more dealable with. Gives Fake Out a lot more counterplay than just being a ghost type and having Shield Dust as an ability, or holding Covert Cloak that gets knocked off by Incineroar. Number 2 is they need to nerf Intimidate again. They nerfed it once ever so slightly and it was not effective at all. And I think what they should nerf Intimidate to is that if you are on a higher health percentage than the Pokemon that is with the Intimidate, you don't get intimidated. So if Incineroar gets knocked down to like 10% health and then Parting Shots out and then comes back in, it can't effectively intimidate both of your Pokemon on the field. It becomes way more harder for Incineroar to just hard swap in, because it will get the Intimidate, but it will get knocked down in health, and if it wants the Parting Shot out, sure it can, but then when it comes back, it's basically useless for the Intimidate. It also means that you could do something like with Stealth Rock, and then, as long as your Pokemon are above 75% HP, then Incineroar can't intimidate them. And then the last change... just like a nice competitive mon. A competitive mon that can actually keep up with Incineroar would be nice. Milotic is doing its best, but it's getting absolutely slapped around by Rillaboom. We need a competitive... I'm gonna say competitive rock type, but that probably also gets slapped up by Rillaboom. We need a competitive... ground type? Ground Fairy type. Ground... what do we put competitive on that fixes the fact that Rillaboom exists? Because it ain't Galarian Articuno. And it ain't... what's that? Oh, Kilowattrel. Kilowattrel ain't it. Kind of want Intimidate to be like the Doggo where it's one time. That is another route. I feel like that would be too much, though, if they just made Intimidate like sticky syrup. It would definitely work to put Intimidate in the ground as an ability. I just don't know if that would be healthy. Because Intimidate is healthy for slowing things down. It's just that Incineroar does it so well that it gets to spam it. But Pokemon like Scrafty and Masquerain, they don't get to spam it. But the fact that they can only use it one time makes it so unlikely to bring those Pokemon. They would have to kind of rely on their other abilities. Did I kill all? I guess I killed all the snowruns that were in this area, huh? At least I got one shiny. For Zacian, it wasn't that big of a deal. I think the Zacian nerf is pretty notable. It did really, really send Zacian down. But it also got pretty power crept once Dynamax left. Being able to Behemoth Blade a Maxmon was very important. Getting your attack boost again, though? His knockdown was, like, huge. Maybe not. Maybe it's normal size. I think it'd hurt Instant more if it lost one of the moves, Fake Out or Parting Shot. Yeah. Not Instant. Parting Shot would not be as bad for it, because it would just U-turn. And we've seen Incineroar do well even without Parting Shot. Fake Out would... You just wouldn't run Incineroar anymore. It would not be a It would just not be around. Incineroar would not be Incineroar without the Fake Out. I think that's just a straight up fact. I think at that point, Scrafty would just take its place. Nerf Gen 9 Zacian is C tier restricted. That is hard to use. That is true. It is very hard to use. You do not see it come up very often. I think the thing that really killed Zacian, though, was the Clear Amulet. Because now you don't need the Zacian to like cancel its attack boost into a Pokemon to use a physical attacker. Now you can just run a Clear Amulet on your physical attacker. And Zacian just can't use its item, which wasn't too big of a deal, but the items got way better between Gen 8 and Gen 9. Because if you have the Rusted Sword, then you're not running the Clear Amulet and you're not running the Cobra Cloak. And those are the two most important items. Hands down. Although with Chapins, Zacian might get more usage. Yeah, we'll have to see. It depends what formats exist. If there's a format early on with Max, then I think Zacian will pick back up. I would not underestimate the power of Dynamax Miraidon, though. Because it sets up its electric terrain, and then even if you swap in a Pokemon to change its terrain, it uses an electric type move, and it sets up its terrain again. And it also gets to go for a dragon type move without lowering its special attack. And it can click a fire type move without lowering its special attack and overheat, so it also combos better with Sun teams. I really don't want to see Miraidon in a Dynamax format. That'd be bad. Oh, but if Xerneas comes back, then Zacian sees an immediate uptick. Xerneas handles Miraidon. Miraidon handles, like it's kind of handles. It can still click fairy type moves can come out from Zacian, but Zacian handles Xerneas. And Xerneas might still be the strongest restricted. I say with like an asterisk. I'd use Tapu Fini, not gonna lie. Yeah, but Tapu Fini, it still gets to set up its terrain, which is nice. But then it just gets an electric type move clicked into it and dies. And then the terrain is gone again. I would love Tapu Fini. I can't wait to have Tapu Fini back. So that way we have an actual terrain center that is not real boom Miraidon or Indeedee. The only setup for it is Galarian Weezing. Yeah. If they were going to get rid of the Tapus this generation, then we needed... Like, they gave us our Balva, kind of for grass, and they gave us Miraidon for electric terrain, and then they took Rising Voltage off of basically everything, so Miraidon in electric terrain, and a Rising Voltage Bond wouldn't ruin everyone's existence. But we didn't get a replacement Psychic Terrain Mon or Fairy Terrain Mon. So if they were going to take those things away, which they did give us Ice Spinner to remove terrain, but not like a great Ice Spinner Pokemon, like there's Chenpao, and I feel like that's kind of it. I don't really know. I would say like a move that's kind of like, what is it? Chilling Joke? Or what is it called? Chilly Reception. I would say one of those kind of moves would have helped if there was like a tanky Pokemon that could swap out while swapping the terrain. It would have helped. Xerneas has one massive counter, though, the Mirror Herb. That's true. We do have a better counter into Xerneas now. What would be the best mirror? But then, like, I feel like there's still, like, a lot of counterplay into that, though. Because you could, like, in doubles, you have Xerneas and, like... Okay, let's say you have a Xerneas and a Crobat on the field, and your opponent also has a Xerneas and a Crobat. And Xerneas has the Power Herb Geomancy, and Crobat has a Mirror Herb and Haze. But it can also have Agility. So if Crobat goes for Agility, and then activates your Mirror Herb, you get the Speed Boost. Xerneas gets the Geomancy, activates its boost. Then opposing Crobat goes for Tailwind. Then you're still slower, and you can't beat the Xerneas any. Or I guess you can't Tailwind and Agility at the same time. But their Crobat has also Agility. So then, it's still becomes like their Crobat goes for Tailwind. Okay, the actual turn. Okay. Reset. Their Crobat goes for Agility. No, it goes for Tailwind first. And then Xerneas protects. And then you go for Haze, which doesn't do anything. And your side Pokemon also doesn't do anything. It doesn't KO Crobat at the very least, and attacks into Protect from Xerneas. Then their Crobat goes for Agility, which procs your Mirror Herb. And then Xerneas gets off its boost. And then your counterplay is gone. That's the line that I'm seeing in my head. Imagine switching in Mirror Herb Flutter Mane under the sun. Yeah, that would be fast enough. But then, you're... Like... Does Flutter Mane KO back, though, into Xerneas? And the answer is no. Flutter Mane has nothing to KO Xerneas back. Whereas Xerneas' Fairy Aura, in combination with the boost, maybe means that it KOs... It definitely KOs whatever's sitting next to Flutter Mane. That I have no doubt. But does Fairy Aura, in combination with Geomancy into Moonblast, Stab, KO Flutter Mane with a +2 defense, with a +2 special defense boost? It definitely 2-coats. At least. I don't know if it O-coats though. I'm doubtful if it O-coats. That means you can ignore the Mirror Herb shenanigans and just attack and deal damage, knowing none of their Pokemon will either attack nor defend. Perhaps. Grafaiai is the perfect support for Xerneas' Prankster, Psych Up, Baton Pass, Taunt, and Encore. Yeah. That's... It's not even thinking about Extreme Evo Boost. That might be back. Let's think about Extreme Evo Boost into... I don't even know. What do you... Extreme Evo Boost Baton Pass into Dondozo means that Haze is now a requirement on your teams. Ain't no way. I feel like there was another Pokemon that you passed the Extreme Evo Boost into that came out recently that gets super OP with it. See, I was hoping that whenever Grafaiai got Prankster, like, before the DLCs came out, and we didn't have access to the DLC moves from the previous game, I was hoping that Grafaiai would get Corrosive Gas. Because that could Prankster Corrosive Gas away Xerneas' Power Herb, and leave it very vulnerable to attacks. That does not seem to be the case, as Corrosive Gas is not learned by any Pokemon in this game, despite being in the game. Like, you can call it with Metronome. It's just Corrosive Gas can't be learned by any Pokemon. So if Grafaiai doesn't get it in this game, and if Grafaiai isn't in the next game to maybe get it, then there's not going to be probably not a corrosive
gas prankster user. Counterplay to Zernia's gambling. I mean, I love gambling. I'm all ears for gambling. Prankster corrosive gas seems like it'd be good, but it probably wouldn't, not gonna lie. I could see it working in specifically formats that don't have Mega Evolution or Primals. Because then you can't destroy those items, they just get to stay on the field. Because I think that Prankster item destruction to destroy Clamulets and Covert Cloaks would already be really good. Because then it makes it easier to fake out and intimidate Mons. And then just getting to destroy Xerneas' Power Herb is an added bonus. And Grafii should live the Moonblast. And whatever next to Grafii hopefully takes the neutral Moonblast. Yeah, I get rid of all the snowbirds here? Yeah, alright. Let's continue the beatings. The beatings shall continue until the shiny ray improves. Just be in the back and come and do their stuff when there's no more Prankster. Or you can redirect it. I think corrosive gas is a spread, or corrosive gas is a spread move. I might be wrong about that. It's been a generation since. But I'm pretty sure corrosive gas is like Earthquake, where it affects everything on the field. So you also affect yourself. But you can just protect it on the necessary turn that you need to. Where am I going? That Talus looks so small from up here. Using a move slot just to counter one specific Pokemon, one specific... Well, not one specific Pokemon, one specific scenario. Like, it would be like knockoff that doesn't do damage. And knockoff is on, like, everything. So the trade-off for doing it priority into both Mons... I think is pretty notable. And also if they decide to protect it, then you can encore them into protect. Like, you get to destroy a citrus berry, meaning that you get rid of 25% of their health. Are the snowruns too far in the water to... Oh, here they are. Oh, there's a blue one immediately. Hey, it's a female! Everybody clap. Yay! Alright. Let's catch this one with a
I think Heal Ball would be pretty sweet, but I think it would also take a while. I'm feeling lucky. Alright, this is gonna take a while. Poison gas is a spread move, corrosive gas is single target move, it's 90% accurate. So yeah, maybe that's not that great. With the dynamic speed, Xerneas is more manageable. Maybe. Alright, let's move. Well, I guess I'm already in the Ice type box. I don't need these schmucks anymore. Right? Yeah, I don't need this one. Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, I can go. Let me give you a dance. Hey, your special attack is even best, and your attack is bad. That's pretty good for a Frostlass. Do I need to use the stone at a specific time? Probably not. I don't think they invented that yet. Yeah, no, we're good. Unaware does kind of keep Xerneas in check. Yeah, we do have better unaware mons. That's a big thing that I didn't think about. Skeletor's, Clodsire, and Dondozo are all much more notable matchups in this Xerneas. Yeah, you can learn to hex your enemies. You can, forget Weather Ball. I'm gonna make you Glalie, just so I have that in case it ever comes up. Yeah, I forget for some reason that Snorunt evolves into Glalie. You can eat one of these. How about two of them? Alright, two of them was a little bit much. Also, how horrific a banded Fallen Ally boost with Yveltal, Dark Terra, Sucker Punch, Gambit would be. That is interesting. Especially since they're weak to different things. Because Yveltal's not weak to fighting, and King Gambit is not weak to fairy. That is worth giving a think on. Gotta admit. Why do you all have Weather Ball? You're not living in your biome. If you were living in the snow, I could see it, but you're just a random outbreak. Okay. Well, now I'm out of things to do for today. Should I use my magic powers to make time move forward? I feel like I don't have a knockdown. I should have one. Yeah, I have one. Because Gambit covers Yveltal's weakness while Yveltal's covers Gambit's weakness. Double dip battles, maybe? Well, I kind of want to go to bed in like 20 minutes or so. So I was kind of just sticking around to see if there would be anybody new to battle. So since there's been nobody in the past half an hour, I think I'm just going to end things here for today. Now that I have both of those shinies and killed enough time
But we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, maybe consider leaving a like on the video and even consider subscribing because both of those things help me out an absolute ton. And I will see you in the next one. Go check out 128 teams if you haven't already. There's a lot of goodies in there. Well, I'll see you then. Bye-bye now.